Train a machine learning model on historical market data, and it will often find patterns a human never could. It will generate a flawless backtest. Then you deploy it live, and within weeks, the account is hemorrhaging capital. This diagram illustrates that exact disconnect. On the left, we see a smooth, compounding 45-degree equity curve during backtest validation. Cross into live deployment, and the curve collapses into a steep decline. The breakdown happens at the threshold between historical validation and real-world execution. This failure is rarely caused by selecting the wrong statistical architecture. Swapping a random forest for a transformer network will not save a strategy that is structurally flawed. The gap between a pristine backtest and a blown account is an engineering failure, not a research deficit. The first critical flaw that destroys models is data leakage, allowing the algorithm to memorize future events during the training phase. The second is the execution gap, where theoretical signal prices ignore the physical reality of broker spreads and slippage. Solving these errors requires building a robust platform architecture. You need a data pipeline that explicitly prevents leakage, and a bridging system that aligns the model with the trading terminal. Graduating a trading model from a local Jupyter notebook to live MetaTrader execution means shifting your focus away from algorithm design. You have to engineer the production environment. The most fatal error in quantitative development occurs during feature engineering, data leakage. Data leakage happens when a model accesses future market information during training. It uses data it could not possibly have had at the time. This look-ahead bias frequently infects a system through improperly calculated rolling statistics, like a moving average or a normalized volatility metric. This diagram illustrates a rolling calculation window moving across historical price bars. If the formula for a rolling mean accidentally includes bars to the right of the current price action, it absorbs future data. The most common version of this error is normalizing a feature using the mean of the entire dataset. Doing so explicitly gives the model the answers for past events. The backtest will look outstanding because the model is effectively trading with tomorrow's newspaper. That predictive edge cannot exist in a real-time environment. The second major production killer is regime change. Machine learning models optimize for static environments. They learn patterns specific to their training window, like the correlation structures of a high volatility market. When that statically trained model is deployed into a new market regime, one with lower liquidity or entirely different macroeconomic drivers, the relationships it learned break down. Continuous live monitoring and automated retraining triggers must be built directly into the architecture. They are mandatory components, not optional maintenance tasks. The final root cause of backtest failure is the execution gap. Models are routinely validated on the closing price of a historical bar, but in reality, the system must execute on the open of the next bar. This chart demonstrates margin compression. Your model identifies a 10 pip expected edge, but the broker takes a 2 pip spread. Add 3 pips of slippage on entry and 3 on exit. These physical constraints nearly wipe out the entire expected edge. Adjusting the learning rate or tree depth of your model cannot fix pipeline leaks, market shifts, or broker spread. You have to solve these through root cause systems engineering. The primary platform constraint engineer space is that MetaTrader 4 and 5 do not run Python natively. Getting a trained scikit-learn or XGBoost model to execute live trades requires building a dedicated bridging architecture. This diagram illustrates the system topology: Python on the left, MetaTrader on the right. The first connecting pathway is the DLL bridge. It compiles into a C++ library for sub-millisecond latency, but carries massive maintenance overhead and restricts deployment to Windows. DLLs should be reserved strictly for environments where extreme high-frequency execution is mandatory. Next is the socket or named pipe bridge. A Python process runs alongside the terminal, communicating via TCP. Socket bridges are the optimal choice for active strategies requiring intra-bar updates without the brittleness of a C++ compile. The third pathway is the file-based bridge. Python writes a signal file, and the expert advisor reads it on the next tick. It has the highest latency, but the lowest complexity. This approach is vastly underestimated. It is highly reliable and perfectly sufficient for 90% of strategies operating on 15-minute, hourly, or daily bars. The final option is a pure MQL implementation. For simple models like linear regression, you can bypass Python entirely by hard-coding the model weights directly into the expert advisor. The operational danger here is over-engineering. Forcing a complex DLL architecture onto a slow, daily bar strategy introduces points of failure for zero actual benefit. Selecting the correct bridge based strictly on the strategy's true latency requirements is the foundation of long-term system stability. The final engineering hurdle is mathematically valid performance testing. Standard k-fold cross-validation involves randomly shuffling blocks of data to test a model. That works for general data science, but it fails completely in finance. This diagram illustrates why. Financial time series contain autocorrelation. Adjacent price bars share overlapping information. Randomly shuffling them leaks that information. We replace it with walk-forward validation, where a training window slides chronologically from left to right, testing only on unseen future periods. The industry standard solution for machine learning on financial time series is combinatorial purged cross-validation. This involves inserting a purge gap, an empty block of space between the end of the sliding training data block and the beginning of the out-of-sample testing block. That purge gap is the only mathematical way to prevent information from leaking across adjacent bars into the out-of-sample test. Once the data is purged, testing focus must shift away from basic classification accuracy toward robust risk-adjusted metrics like the out-of-sample Sharpe, CalMAR, and profit factor ratios. Accuracy alone tells you very little. A high hit rate is useless if it ignores position sizing and maximum drawdown penalties. Without explicitly purged walk-forward validation, an algorithm's projected performance metrics are structurally overstated. Deploying them is dangerous. This diagram shows the realistic expectation of a properly engineered model. As the equity curve crosses into live deployment, it becomes bumpier, but continues an upward trajectory. A 30% drop in the Sharpe ratio from backtest to live execution is a standard, workable reality. While degradation is normal, a complete inversion of the edge, where a profitable backtest becomes a consistent live loser, means a structural engineering failure occurred in the pipeline. A reliable system rests on three pillars: engineer for physical execution constraints, explicitly purge your validation data, and build a matching latency bridge. If you are dealing with failing live deployments, or you need to scope a new machine learning trading architecture, visit the Barmontero's FX pillar page. Reviewing the comprehensive methodology detailed there is the first step to standardizing an execution pipeline that survives production. The ultimate survival of an algorithmic trading system relies entirely on translating statistical theory into